So today I wanted to try something I haven't done in a very long time, which is a high round on Nuketown. And I am not a big fan of Nuketown at all. In fact, it's been one of my least favorite maps in zombies for a while, but it's the only survival map that I don't have a very good high round on. So today I wanted to set a goal of getting to round 70. Now let's get into the game. So I started off as you would on pretty much any survival map, just going straight for the box to just try and get a ray gun or a ray gun Mark II as early as possible. Then after hitting the box a couple times, I noticed a jug had fallen into the map without me even realizing it did, so I grabbed that because I just don't want to die early. And random perk spawns aren't really a thing I'm a fan of, but it's not really for the reason that you probably think. I don't just hate them because it's hard to play the early rounds without jug, I just don't like some of the spots that the perks can fall into. For example, if you get Pack-a-Punch in the little garden that's behind Yellow House, or inside the actual Yellow House, you might as well just restart if you're high rounding, because on the higher rounds, you have to pack multiple ray guns per round, and there's literally just no way you're going to be able to in those spots. So I just hate the random perk spawns because I don't like getting a perk in a bad spot and just having to restart. And on round 9, I ended up getting Pack-a-Punch in the spot right next to Jug, which isn't horrible, but it's also not good, since I'm going to be training in the backyard of Greenhouse like most people, so it would have been nice to have the Pack-a-Punch machine back there, but I didn't really want to restart, so I just continued the game with Pack-a-Punch back there. And on round 10, I pack-punched the M1911 because Mustang and Sally's are one of the best guns on survival maps, and they're really good on insta-kills especially, so I always get them on Nuketown and Town. And in the meantime, I'm just hitting the box as much as I possibly can to try and get a ray gun or a ray gun Mark II so I can basically just start playing the game how I want to. And at round 15, Double Tap dropped in and also went to the back of Yellow House. So this game is some of the craziest and also just worst perk RNG I've ever gotten, with 3 of the perks already going to Yellow House, and Speed Cola could still actually spawn at Yellow House in the upstairs, which would mean every single perk is on the half of the map that I'm not going to be staying at, so that would be pretty horrible. Luck turned around because on round 16, I got the Ray Gun Mark II from the box, and after that Nuketown Pack-a-Punch challenge from a couple weeks ago where it took nearly an hour to get this thing, I was not expecting to see the Mark II until like way later in the game, but I was super happy to get it since it means I can get a zombie out of my way pretty easily until like round 40 or 50. And with the Mark II, I always try to line up the zombies to hit collaterals, and the way I do it on Nuketown is just walking into the little garden doorway back here, then shooting. It's unnecessary on this low of a round, but that's what I always do when I have the Mark II. And finally, on round 18, I noticed Speed Cola dropping in, and it actually went to the top of Yellow House, which means every single perk and Pack-a-Punch is at Yellow House and on the side of the map that I'm not going to be at, which is literally the worst luck possible, and I don't think I've ever had that happen before in any time I've ever played Nuketown. And then on round 21, while training, I got a red screen trying to get up the stairs, and I nearly died. Luckily, there weren't any zombies up in the top of the house, and I managed to get back to the training spot with no issues. Also, something that I should mention because some people may be confused about it, I opened the bottom door of the greenhouse, which I know a lot of people say that you shouldn't do, but it really doesn't affect that much at all, and it actually makes it better because on a higher round, if you only have one of the doors opened, then it's very easy for like a walking zombie to just block the doorway and then get you trapped, so it's just better to have both of these opened, and also it makes zombies that spawn in the spawn room get back to the backyard just faster, so it's actually better to just have both of them opened. And like I mentioned earlier, I used Mustang and Sally's on insta-kills. Since they're explosive, it makes it really easy to get a lot of kills by just shooting every area that they come into. And a little under an hour into the game, I hit round 30 and I was happy that it seemed like this game could go well, since I don't play Nuketown often, and when I do, I usually just take a dumb early down, since this map actually is not easy at all for training. And then a while later, while training, I got cut off from all ways and I had to run inside this little garden, and the other side of it was blocked by a walking zombie, so I had to jump past the horde, and I just barely made it out alive, and I really expected to die right there. And for anyone who's wondering what my training strategy is, it's just kind of train around this area. There's no exact route I run every time because the spawns are weird back here. Like sometimes a bunch will drop down from the top of the garage, other times none will. And there's just a lot of spawns back here, so I kind of just run around this circle and hope it goes well, and it works most of the time. And as for ammo goes, I wasn't too concerned with it for now because I know that an unpack-a-punch ray gun Mark II shouldn't really have any ammo issues until like around 50-ish, maybe late 40s. And even when it does run out of ammo, I can just pack-a-punch it and be fine, so I really wasn't worried about ammo for now at all. And at the end of round 39, I used some of the claymores that I'd been stacking up to kill some of the last zombies, and I got a max ammo, so I killed the last 2 zombies with the Mark II, and went on to round 40, still with 0 downs. And for now, there isn't much for me to show because I wasn't having many close calls. I wasn't really doing anything too interesting, just getting a horde together and then just killing them in front of the garden. So I don't really know what to show because it was mostly just the same thing over and over. The only interesting thing happening was me getting low on ammo, then getting max ammo right away when I needed it. And I was trying to track my drop cycle this game, but I wasn't always doing it, so I kind of knew when I was going to get a max, so I wasn't really too worried about it. Something else I want to mention is how annoying the walking zombies are, because they'll just block areas, and since they're never with the actual horde, I'm never actually killing them, so they just walk around, and eventually, when I'm not damaging them, not doing anything to them, they'll just bleed out and then just respawn at random times, and they can mess me up, so I just hate those things. Because Nuketown doesn't have carpenters on the map at all, it means you'll get max ammos more often, even if you have fire sales in your drop cycle. So I would get somewhat low on ammo sometimes, but not run out fully as long as I was conserving ammo, because in these lower rounds, the Mark II is really good. And finally, at about 2.5 hours into the game, I ended round 48 to go on to 49, and was really hoping to get to round 50 flawless, since I've never done that on Nuketown before. And on round 49, I got an insta-kill and a max ammo, so that helped me get through the round quicker and easier. And just a little bit later, I killed the last zombies and went on to round 50 flawless, and I was getting to be really confident that I would get to round 70 this game. And on round 51, I was nearly out of ammo, and then very luckily got a max ammo, and also double points, but that basically does nothing because I'm not really using my points on anything. And then on round 52, this walking zombie did exactly what I was scared it would do, and it trapped me while I was trying to get past it, and I just barely killed it in time to get out of there and not die, and that was definitely the scariest moment of the game so far, and just further shows you why I hate walking zombies so much. But a little bit after that, I ended the round with some claymores because I wanted to preserve my ray gun Mark II ammo since I barely had any left. And early on in the next round, I got an insta-kill and was hoping I could get a max ammo from a zombie that I killed with the insta-kill, but unfortunately I got no drops from the insta-kill, so I was left with hardly any Mark II ammo and barely any Mustang and Sally ammo. And then right after that, I used my last couple shots of the Mark II and got nothing, so I was forced to finally go and pack-a-punch it, which isn't bad at all since now it'll just do way better damage and have more ammo, so I still shouldn't have to do any trades for a while. And with just my luck, I got a max ammo from one of the first few zombies I killed with the Mark II, so I could have maybe held off pack-a-punching it for longer if I used my claymores to get a drop, but it's fine anyway since the pack-punch Mark II can last for a very long time. But after that, not much was happening for a while. I had the Mark II packed, so I wasn't running into any ammo problems, and I wasn't really having any close calls either. The rounds were just getting longer and longer, and I was just playing fine. And then at the end of round 56, I took my first break of the game and I did what most zombies players never do. I took a shower. And so I was off the game for like 30 minutes. And when I got back, I guess I just wasn't really locked in on the game because I just ended up going down like 20 seconds into the round, which sucked, especially because all of my perks are on the complete opposite side of the map. So I got up, threw a monkey, and immediately ran to the yellow house to get my perks back. And at least Jug was in the best of the worst spots, so I was able to grab it first, then I just got the horde together and grabbed the rest of the perks when I knew it was safe. And then I just went back to the training spot, training up the horde and killing them with the Mark II like usual. A little later into round 57, I got a max ammo when I was getting kinda low, so that was nice. But even with that max ammo, on the very next round, I was about to run completely out of ammo again, which just goes to show you how annoying high rounding to survival maps can be. And about a minute later, I got it to the end of round 58 and I used my claymores to kill the last couple zombies to preserve my Mark II ammo, and I was hoping to get a max ammo very early into round 59. But early on round 59, instead of getting a max ammo, I messed up while training and had to go inside the garden, and the other side of it was blocked, but luckily I was able to get out once again, and I still needed to hope for a max ammo. And with just 9 bullets left, I shot the horde and got an insta-kill, and picked it up, and with the first shot of Mustang and Sally, I got the max ammo that I was desperately needing, and this also meant that I would be able to get to round 60 without doing any trades so far. And about 8 minutes later, I was able to get through 59 and hit round 60, and the craziest part about this was I remembered when I did round 70 on town a while ago, it took me about 10 hours. So while I'm at round 60 right now, this is technically only about the halfway point to round 70 time-wise, just because of how much the zombies' health goes up and how many more zombies there are per round in the 60s. And then I also got a max ammo pretty early into round 60, so this made me pretty sure that I'd be able to get through this round without having to do any trades. And I was right, and after galvanuckling the last zombie to death, I got through round 60 with still almost 100 shots left in the Mark II, so things were looking pretty good. And then again, I got a max ammo early on into the round, so I knew I'd be able to get through 61 without running out of ammo, but I also knew as soon as I had a round where I didn't get a max ammo early, I'd have to trade out my Mark II, and that's when the game is going to really slow down by a lot. But a little while later, I ended round 61, which I haven't mentioned it yet this video. Before this game, round 61 was actually my highest on Nuketown, so I was pretty happy to get past that and be on a new PB. And just a couple minutes into round 62, I got an insta-kill, which is usually great, but this time, while using it, I got caught on this little piece of concrete in this backyard, and I couldn't move, and I went down when I tried to get away from it, and so I was pretty annoyed at that. I got stuck on the fucking patio, dude. Are you kidding me? I got stuck on the patio. That is such a joke. So as you could tell, I was pretty annoyed with that death since I got stuck on the tiniest little thing, but I got up, threw a monkey, and got my perks back fine. And after that unfortunate and very annoying down, it was back to just training and using the Mark II. And after using all my Mark II ammo and getting all 4 drops this round and no max ammo, I knew it was time to do my first trade of the game. If you don't know what a trade is, it's pretty self-explanatory. I just trade out my ray gun or ray gun Mark II, whichever one I have. I just trade it for a wall gun, then I hit the box to get a new one because they're the only 2 guns on the map that are gonna be killing it this round. And even then, the regular ray gun is pretty weak. So I traded the ray gun Mark II for a B23R, which is just absolutely cursed, and I started hitting the box, and I also got rid of the Mustang and Sally's since I was really only using them on insta-kills, and they're just not that helpful now, and holding a different gun that's in the box means whatever gun I'm holding I can't get from the box, therefore giving me slightly better odds at getting a ray gun or a ray gun Mark II. And after hitting the box for a little bit, I got the ballistic knife, which I actually keep for a little bit because they have really good mobility and they have the fastest weapon switching speed, which is very helpful when I'm hitting the box constantly in tight areas. But this trade was actually very lucky. It only took about 5 minutes and I got a Mark II instead of just a regular ray gun, so this luck was really good. And even Unpack-a-Punch, the ray gun Mark II was still pretty good, but I knew it wouldn't last long Unpack-a-Punch and that I'd need to pack-punch it pretty soon. But about 5 minutes later, I ended round 62 and was still feeling confident about getting to round 70 this game. But as expected, pretty early into round 63, the ray gun Mark II ran out of ammo, so I immediately ran to pack-a-punch it, and once I packed it, I just went right back to training and continued like usual. And right after that, I remembered that I still hadn't gotten all my drops this round, so I wanted to grab the MP5 since it's close and I wanted a gun for insta-kills. And right after I grabbed it, 2 zombies actually trapped me inside the greenhouse, but luckily I killed them and got out of there before the horde caught up to me. And then 15 minutes later, and after using almost all of my Mark II ammo, I got through round 63. Thankfully, even with barely any Mark II ammo left, I was able to get a max ammo because having a ray gun Mark II speeds these rounds up by a lot, and I had already played 5 hours this day. And I also got an insta-kill this round, which helps speed things up a lot, which is really good since I was going to play this entire game in one day. And keep in mind, when I did Town round 70, it was 10 hours. And unfortunately for me and my sanity, the ray gun Mark II wasn't enough to get through the round, even with that max ammo and an insta-kill, so it was time to do another trade. So I once again trade the ray gun Mark II for the B23R and start hitting the box hoping for a ray gun or a ray gun Mark II. And while trades are annoying, at least on Nuketown there's only one actual bad box spot, and that is of course the one inside the greenhouse, which is absolutely horrible, and of course with my luck that was where the box decided to go.
Yeah, I believe in you. Under 20 hits. You hit it twice. You got 2 more. I mean, 8 more.
Oh, you're dead.
If I'm being honest, I feel like an insta kill in that shed would be more useful.
No, it's not. It's not over.
No.
No, it's over. I can't get 70 now. I have no quick revive.
What the fuck would an insta kill do?
Oh my god, just don't die again. You'll be fine.
Bro, I got all the way to 57 with 0 downs and now this happens. And so I took my 3rd down, which means no more quick revives, with probably another 4 hours left to play and a lot more trades to do, so I really need to lock in if I want to get through this. And while this box spot is pretty bad, the trades here aren't actually that hard. You just need to walk a circle going into the truck, then run straight to the box and hit it or pick up a gun, then run straight back to the truck and just keep doing that over and over. And not long after that, I got a ray gun, which is good because it means I don't have to hit the box anymore, but it's also not good because, well, the regular ray gun isn't that good anymore, and to be honest, it barely gets any kills. But even with the ray gun not being very good, I ended round 64 because apparently there was barely any zombies left of the round, so I downed to like the second to last horde of the round, which just makes that down way more annoying. And about 20 seconds into round 65, the ray gun ran out of ammo and I had to go pack-a-punch it, and even the pack-punch version still wasn't that good, but it did kill most of the crawlers that I already had and got me a max ammo, but I basically had full ammo anyway, so it didn't really do that much. And a whole 4 minutes after getting that max ammo, the ray gun ran out of ammo, so it was time for another trade. You see why I said the regular ray gun isn't that good? And I got very, very lucky again and only had to spin the box for about 3 minutes and got another ray gun Mark II, and even though it wasn't that strong anymore, it was still miles better than using the regular ray gun. But as you could probably predict, the ray gun Mark II ran out of ammo and I had to pack-a-punch it, and I was really expecting and hoping for this pack-a-punch Mark II to get me through the rest of the round. Thankfully, the ray gun Mark II and the random pack-a-punch M27 that I got from the box and was holding got me through the round, and I had just a little bit of Mark II ammo left and was really hoping to get a max ammo early on to 66 because using the Mark II just speeds these rounds up by so much. And with just 6 bullets left of the Mark II, I got a max ammo and I was so happy to not have to do another trade this early because just hitting the box over and over gets so insanely boring. I also got an insta-kill, and since I had this M27 on me, I spammed it all I could on the insta-kill because getting through these rounds as fast as possible was all I wanted to do after playing 6.5 hours in one day with only one actual break so far. And a couple minutes later, I used my last bit of ray gun Mark II ammo and had to once again do a trade. But the trade wasn't too bad. I got a ray gun within just a couple minutes and ran back to the training area to continue playing. And I'm just going to show sped up gameplay to show you how effective the ray gun is. This footage right here is actually a little over 2 minutes, so I went through the ray gun's ammo in 2 minutes, and I think it got maybe like 15 to 20 kills. And this is why I wanted to go to 70 and not 75 or even like 80, because for me personally, I think that survival maps just become like unplayable past 70 because of how much you're just hitting the box. It's just so boring that I just wouldn't want to do it. And not long after using all of the unpack-punched ray gun's ammo, I also used all of the pack-punched ray gun's ammo, so it was back to hitting the box already. And the box ended up going back to the worst spot on the map, which was pretty annoying, but like I explained earlier, it's not too bad when you know the route to run. And eventually I got another ray gun and like usual, ran straight back to the greenhouse backyard to continue playing. And after like 2 minutes of using the ray gun, I had to go and pack-a-punch it, then run straight back to greenhouse and start using the pack version. Just a lot of the same stuff over and over. Hit the box, use ammo for a couple minutes, pack-a-punch, use ammo, run back to the box. And this brings me to the end of round 66, and unfortunately, the end of this video. So, after playing this all day right here, when I hit round 67, I took a break and came back and played to 70, and it took about 2.5 hours. Unfortunately, after doing that, while trying to end my recording when I hit round 70, I realized my computer's CPU usage was at 100% and I literally couldn't end the recording because of that. So I had to close BO2 to end the game so that my CPU could actually end the recording, but I guess it had been like that for so long that it actually stopped recording right here at 67 and just didn't record any of the rest, even though it said it was doing it. So after playing almost 10 hours in one day, I lost the most important footage of the entire game, which really sucks. And it sucks because I was excited to show me hitting 70. I mean, I literally played nearly 10 hours in one day to hit this, and I really just didn't expect to be able to get this done in just a couple games. And I don't even have a clip or a screenshot or anything of me on round 70, but I promise I did actually get there, and as much as I'd love to just redo it, I don't want to risk doing this again on PC and like actually just messing up my computer because the thing was like so high I couldn't even touch it after this. And I can't do it on console because I'm literally just not that good on controller. I'm way better on keyboard and mouse, so if I tried it on console, I'd probably just end up dying. So a very unfortunate and extremely annoying way to end the video, but nonetheless, I did hit 70 and technically complete this challenge. I just can't really prove it. So thank you for watching, please like and subscribe.